The government of Guyana on Monday held an engagement to brief stakeholders on the recent decree issued by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro claiming sovereignty over Guyana's territory. The engagement, which was held at the Ramphal House, saw representatives from religious organizations, political parties, the Private Sector Commission, the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association, and the American Chambers of Commerce. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, the Honorable GAIL TEIXEIRA, said the aim is to ensure all stakeholders are brought up to speed with the recent developments regarding the Guyana-Venezuela border matter.
This is a national issue. This is a non-partisan issue. This is not an issue of politics and what party people support. It's our land. It's the land of all Guyanese. It's where we know from historical facts and evidence that the claim by Venezuela has absolutely no substance whatsoever, and that from historical records, archival and anthropological records, Venezuela has had no settlement through the Spanish or otherwise in our territory or what is our territory. So that this is an issue that one of the reasons for the stakeholders meeting is that you would be able to go back and brief your members, because this is an issue I think that we have to stand together as a people. We have to stand as one. If they're put aside all the other issues that we have differences with and don't like each other about or we don't agree on, that this is one issue that requires us as a people to stand together.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the Honorable TODD, explained that once Venezuela's decree is gazetted, it gives relevance to that country's position and will be seen as a threat to Guyana's sovereignty. As a result, the government of Guyana must be proactive by having these discussions.
And that is to preempt Maduro's actions. So we're taking it seriously, and we are seeing this as a threat. Well, I met with the Venezuelan chargé this morning, and he was explaining to me that the controversy has been long-standing, but it does not affect Venezuela's friendship with Guyana. He is of the view that Caracas is, notwithstanding the controversy, still open to dialogue, friendship, and cooperation. And that is the spirit of cooperation they want to have with us. We know differently because we've seen their actions and inactions over the several decades, and I think this process is why it's necessary for us to actually bring finality to this long-standing controversy that Venezuela has with us.
The government is also in the process of engaging international organizations including CARICOM, the Commonwealth, the Organization of American States, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries.
What we're doing is that we're going to give them all the submissions that we have coming out of Venezuela. We're still waiting on the decree, but we're bringing them up to speed with the events that occurred in the National Assembly. We're going to give them our position and to reiterate to them that this is not a matter that we're taking lightly, given the context, and that we continue to rely on their support, given the fact that the support that we're getting from them so far.
The stakeholders also had the opportunity to raise issues and make suggestions on how Guyana could deal with the issue in a unified manner.
We are not that familiar with the very careful preparation which was done to move the ICJ. And we're not very familiar with the background, the 1899 Treaty and the 1966 Convention, and the legal underpinnings. Now, again, I like what you said about the need for education, but I have seen in our society that criticisms have been made of our administrations that they haven't done enough. I disagree. I think a very careful case has been planned before the ICJ. I think that it is bearing fruit. But our failing has been that there is a gap in communicating that to the public. And perhaps it is important at this stage to find a way in sound bites, maybe like Charles Dickens in installments, to explain the background, explain the signatories to the 1899 treaty, why they were authorized to sign, the background and the underpinnings that lead up to sovereignty and the removal of colonialism.
It is a lot of information to try and compile because of the length of time the controversy has been running.
Exactly.
And, you know, for instance, I didn't understand what had happened before Geneva and up to Geneva and the difference between those. So there is a lot to be learned quickly about that. And if you could create ways for people to understand it, both in print but as well as video format using DPI.
I think it's an issue that the government and needs to be able to look at how do we put out, as I said, different aspects. The whole 1899, 1966, and all these issues, so that we can have a better informed people.
Earlier on Monday, members of the Parliamentary Sectorial Committee were briefed on the matter. The committee unanimously condemned any law by Venezuela making unilateral claims to Guyana's territory.
At the Parliamentary Sectorial Committee, we have a statement that the committee is in support of, and I think that's a very healthy development at the sectoral committee level in Parliament.
The border issue between Guyana and Venezuela arose after Venezuela contended that the arbitral award of 1899 was null and void. The 1899 award settled the boundary between the then British Guyana and Venezuela, which the latter recognized until 1962. The matter is currently before the ICJ, where Guyana is seeking a final judgment to uphold the 1899 arbitral award. The ICJ on December 18 ruled it has jurisdiction to hear the case and rule upon the validity of the arbitral award and its legal consequence on both states. Venezuela has since rejected the decision of the ICJ. On January 7, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro issued a decree claiming sovereignty and exclusive sovereign rights in the waters and seabed adjacent to Guyana's coast west of the Essequibo River. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has since condemned the decree's claim on Guyana's territory as a legal nullity, which will not be recognized by any state in the world. The president noted that it is a fundamental international principle that whosoever holds title to the land has sovereignty over the sea and seabed adjoining the coast. Guyana therefore has sovereignty over the area being claimed by Venezuela.